Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Take Us Seriously podcast. This is another rendition of the Week 12 segment. Today, we're going to be talking about the NFC and the AFC deep sleepers. You know what? I want to qualify this with you guys because I know y'all want us to pick the Commanders. I know y'all think we're going to pick, the Seattle, or we're going to pick some of like the Chargers, teams like that as a team that's going to make it in. But these teams we're selecting have a losing record. So don't be surprised when we don't pick the Commanders and the Seahawks. This is a true dark horse playoff contender. Don't be surprised, y'all, because this is going to get a little wild. Now, the Packers, I'm picking them in. And I'm going to tell you why. I know, you ain't got to roll your eyes. The Packers still have Mr. RELAX, Mr. Relax. Because, hey, go ahead. What you got to say about Aaron Rodgers?
The same Mr. Relax that choking a NFC championship every year. You talking about the same Mr. Relax that claimed he owned the Lions and then let them shit on him?
I'm saying the same Mr. Relax that is able to make it work in the regular season. I ain't saying nothing about the postseason.
Has he been making it work this regular season?
He is not.
Oh, okay.
He is not so far. But you know who has been starting to make it work this regular season, the last 3 games, has been Mr. Christian Watson, who is who he's throwing to now. You know, the guy I was beating the table for last week that I should have never dropped in fantasy. Yeah, that Christian Watson. Christian Watson, in these last 3 games, you know who he has more touchdowns than? In the last segment we talked about, he has more touchdowns than Justin Jefferson. You know who else he has more touchdowns than? He has more touchdowns than DeAndre Hopkins. He has a lot of touchdowns against these star guys, CeeDee Lamb, all they're saying is this new superstar emerging talent. Yeah, he's got more touchdowns than all of them in 3 games than what they had the rest of the season. And while he was out with injury and, ineffective play, now that he's emerged, he's given Aaron Rodgers a deep threat option that's opening up the run game, that's making everything easier for the defense because the time of possession is easier for them. And you know what? I think everybody needs to take a little chill pill because if you give them time, you give them weapons. Don't forget, he was the 2-time MVP just, the last 2 years. So I'm just going to say, let's just pump the brakes. Go ahead and do that again so the people can hear it. I want them to hear that. What was it?
I coughed. It's a little bird in my ear telling me he ain't got nothing to show for it. But I just find it quite audacious that you think the Packers with 4 wins, right? 4, 5, 4?
Under 500. Yeah, I'm 4. Yeah.
Going to make the playoffs, and they still have the Bears divisional opponent. They going to walk the Rams. I give them that. That's 1 for 2. They going to get shit on by Miami. Minnesota own Aaron Rodgers right now, and I think they're going 0-2 against the Lions too.
Wow.
Crazier, bro. It's even crazier. Yes, Aaron Rodgers has been trending up. Christian Watson has been trending up. Right on. That defense has been trending astronomically the down. And you think that in the next 5 games, they got to face 2 teams guaranteed to make the playoffs, fighting for the number 1 seed in their division. The Rams, they can have that. 3 of those teams are divisional opponents, and 2 of those teams have 2 of the best offenses in the NFL right now. Now, granted, hate the Lions. Not a fan. Don't think they're that great. But what we can't argue is the numbers.
Yeah,
and
we don't do that here.
Me, that shit-ass Green Bay defense, who's in 3rd place. Let's not forget that. Green Bay's in 3rd place behind the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first semblance of hope the Lions had in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And you think Mr. I don't know what to do when the lights on me he gonna do it? You think the Mushroom Man gonna handle business? He ain't did it yet.
I think
he woke up a new man today, huh?
I think the Mushroom Man is about to take that same mushroom, that ayahuasca. He's going to turn it into the Super Mario mushroom, and he's about to glow up. He's about to get real big on y'all. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you said there's 3 divisional opponents that he still has to play. You know what all those 3 divisional opponents do every time they play Aaron Rodgers and the Colts? Every time they play them, when it's late down the season, when it's gotta have it games, they pee down their leg. Yes, Detroit, they're Detroit. It's still Jared Goff, and it's still, I forget that. It's still Dan Campbell. It's Mr. Oh yeah. Like, yeah, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, and himself right all the way back to going fishing, because they not about to make it, and they definitely not about to beat Aaron Rodgers when it counts. Then you got the Vikings. Ooh, everybody's so afraid of the red hot Vikings. I ain't forget. They just lost to the well, they didn't lose to the Bills, but they just lost to the the good teams not too long ago that we're just saying that, now they're gonna make it work. Now that they found a way to beat the Bills, and they find a way, to beat the Patriots. Now we're just gonna crown them. Don't crown them. They're false. They're false. They're not real. They're not kings. They're not anything. But I've said enough about the Vikings because there's a little bit of stain there.
Can I ask you a question? For Aaron Rodgers to make the playoffs, all of the teams in the NFC East damn near got to lose out. He has to somehow get more wins than Seattle. He has to somehow get more wins than my sleeper pick in the Falcons. And then on top of that, he already got to face 3 teams don't sweep him this year. I just find that miraculous that you think the man that has not been great at overcoming the odds in his career down the stretch when it mattered most is just magically just going to strap in today. You just think all of a sudden that when he's not the front runner, he just going to put his big boy pants on and go to town.
All I'm saying is, what's this rendition called? It's called the deep sleeper. That means that it's a slim chance to make it in. So yeah, it's not going to be easy for none of these teams. Not easy by any stretch. They still have to go out there and get it done. Oh, so you think you're going to put the baby to bed? Oh, that's what we're doing here? That's what we do?
You said deep sleep. I'm taking a nap.
Mm-hmm. You go ahead and you go ahead and think that the REM sleep is going to work all you want. But all I'm going to say is, you really think the Commanders and Taylor Heineke is going to hold it up after they still got to play they still got to play their divisional opponents in the NFC East? You really going to believe in Taylor Heineke? Okay, you go ahead. You keep on waiting. And
but you know who I do believe in?
Who?
I think, like I just said, I think Atlanta is going to make the playoffs. I think Marcus Mariota, he ain't the guy. But Atlanta, unlike, one of the other teams that, I like, but not quite a sleeper, they already in there, the Giants. Atlanta plays that same style of nasty, ugly football. But guess what they have that the Giants don't? My old ho mad, but my young ho cool. That boy's leg be taking them to the promised land. He be doing it. And guess what? Down the stretch, when it matters, their defense shows up. I'm not saying that they elite, but I'm gonna tell you this. I got the Falcons schedule pulled up right here.
You know what? Before you do that.
Wait. No, sir. No, sir.
Such blasphemy.
Because I'm going to stand on this. They got to play Schittsburg. Then they got to bye. Then they got to play Andy Dalton. Then they got to play. I'm not going to slander Baltimore too much. Because.
As you shouldn't. Come on now. As you shouldn't. What are we doing right now?
Absolutely. Don't slow your roll, Pimpin'. Because Baltimore's offense still ain't found its identity.
We don't got to talk about them. That's a whole other situation right now.
Nope. I'm defending my point. You ain't going to do this. Offense still ain't found their identity. But I'm not going to slander them too much because the defense doing what it do to make the games winnable. But that is exactly the type of game that Atlanta wins. I ain't even got to defend myself with Arizona. And then on top of that, they still got to play Tampa Bay at the end of the year. And as much as I don't think they're going to overcome Tampa Bay, I do think it's going to be a dogfight. And I say that because Atlanta's still pissed off from that loss earlier this year, where I'm never against Tom Brady, but Atlanta won that game. You got a headache or something? You need some. You're not feeling good.
I had to wash my mouth out with all that bull that you just go ahead and spewing across the airways, because there's no way that you really think that this same Falcons team that just lost to the Commanders is going to somehow, if that's a hard game for them, what's that going to say about the rest of these games? The only easy week y'all got coming up is, for sure, the way y'all just lost.
Don't start using all-inclusive verbs. I'm not a Falcons fan. I just think they're gonna make the playoffs. Don't do that.
I hear you. But all I'm saying is the only easy week that they got is their bye week coming up. Because you know what? Y'all just lost Kyle Pitts. Y'all traded away Calvin Ridley, and y'all really got some tough games coming up. Like, you think some of these is easy, but Kyler can still have a last hurrah against this Falcons defense, because it ain't like they've been all that either. I mean, it's not like any week that they're going in, they're going to have the best quarterback on the field at any point in the game. So I don't think that this team can really make this work. I mean, it's a shock they got 5 wins. This is a mirage of a season. I mean, come on now. So you mean to tell me you got probably a bottom 5, bottom 6 defense in the league, an offense that doesn't pass the ball particularly well, and you make me think that I'm really gonna believe that they're gonna just not turn the ball over? Like they're gonna keep up this streak when it gets closer to the stretch.
Let me hit you with some key points. Some key points here. So key points. So Atlanta has 4 pretty much winnable games. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Like I said, sleeper pick. Like that's the purpose of this sleeper pick. But they have 4 winnable games. They have the easiest schedule pretty much of every team that's right outside making the playoffs. They should have beat the Commanders. Their run game is consistent. I'm not going to say Mariota's consistent, but they play fairly mistake-free football, consistent football. And they have proved to us time and time again that they can compete with those teams. Like, for example, they beat Cleveland. They beat Seattle. Should have won in Tampa Bay. Beat San Fran. Dramatic loss to the Chargers. Or not Chargers, Cincy, for sure. Competed with the Chargers. That game was neck and neck. Should have beat Carolina the first time. Lost the second time. By all means. Beat Chicago outright. Lost to Washington in a game that they very well should have won. All I'm saying is they compete at the highest level.
I'll give you they compete. But you know what bad teams do? Bad teams lose to teams that they shouldn't beat. And you know what? Every now and again, a bad team will beat a good team. But that doesn't make it the rule. That makes it the exception to the rule. And all I'm saying is when the going gets tough with the Falcons, it's not going to work out, because I just don't see how you think a coin flip team is going to always land on heads. And real quick, you also really think that Tom Brady doesn't remember that he has to play a team at the end of the season that's pushing to make it into the playoffs? They're not going to win the division. We know that. So we think that this team that's going to find a way in, and Brady's not going to relish in knowing that he can hold out a divisional opponent, that he also had a comeback victory about 4 years ago against, when a comeback victory of 28-3. You think Brady's not going to play and be you think the GOAT, you give him more ammunition that he's not going to show up to play? He gets to hold out a divisional opponent out the playoffs? Oh, come on. You know this ain't going to work out.
I'm not saying Brady not going to show up. I'm not saying that. But what I am going to tell you is, if you think that bum-ass Green Bay going to make it with a significantly tougher schedule left over and a significantly worse defense versus tougher matchups, you think Green Bay going to make it, and you going to tell me that Atlanta not? You out of your rabbit ass mind, boy.
All I'm telling you right now is that even with the tougher schedule, you know what else they got? They got the better quarterback. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers over Mariota any day and twice on Sundays, because there is no way you really gonna sit here and tell these people that you really think that if you do it mano a mano, you taking Mariota over Aaron Rodgers? I ain't gonna let you answer that. That's rhetorical. All right, then, because there's no way that you're doing that. Yes, you said earlier that the defense has been playing bad, but guess what? Aaron Rodgers has been starting to play good. And as the weeks go on, he's not going to get worse. It gets colder. And guess what? He gets better in the cold. He can actually keep his play up in the cold.
This ain't 25, 30-year-old Aaron Rodgers. When niggas get old, them bones start to hurt. And Aaron Rodgers been looking like his bones been hurting all year. And he a spring chicken, huh?
He ain't a spring chicken, but we also saw Tom Brady, just a couple years ago win the Super Bowl as an old man. We also saw John Elway win a couple Super Bowls as an old man. And guess what? Those are 2 top quarterbacks that this league has seen. Last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers is one of those top quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Hey, first of all, what you're not about to do is compare secondhand goods Aaron Rodgers to the GOAT. That's what we're not about to do. We're not about to compare the that only makes it to the NFC Championship to the that only win Super Bowls. We not doing that.
You know what? I ain't gonna debate that. He's not as great as those two that I just mentioned. But all I'm saying is when they're old doesn't mean that you can't have a great run. Doesn't mean that you can't have a blast from the past type of moment. And at the end of the day, all I'm really saying is when it comes to them Falcons, they about to be going fishing, big dog. They not about to make this work. They gonna be out there like this. They not gonna be in them playoffs. They gonna have to go ahead and enjoy the going as they can. Because right now, it ain't gonna work. I believe in Aaron Rodgers more than I believe in Mariota and that defense and whatever players you trot out. Because guess what? It's a bunch of nobodies. Don't nobody know Zacchaeus. Don't nobody know Tyler Algier. Don't nobody know none of these guys. People don't even know Arthur Smith, the coach.
Don't nobody know none of these guys. Not Cordell Patterson. Not not the top 10 corner. Nobody knows these guys, huh? You know his name though, don't you? What's his name?
Yeah, his name is AJ Terrell, but that's because I looked this stuff up.
But don't nobody know these dudes. Don't nobody know the first round draft pick wide receiver that's only been trending up and up and up each week. And only reason his play is getting held back is because the offense as a whole is rough. What's his name? You know his name?
AJ Terrell.
No, the receiver. We already discussed AJ Terrell.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's Drake London. I know who he is.
Nobody know these dudes though. That was just that's what you said though. That's what you said.
I know them because I'm him. They don't know them because they don't care. When it comes to this arguing stuff, no, I know these guys.
Question: You him?
Yeah.
You the same him that was wrong about Minnesota all year, but I'm him. I'm him. That's why I was right because I'm him.
Yeah. Well, all I know is Aaron Rodgers is more him, and you know what? Mariota ain't nobody. That's why he's been kicked off the team in Tennessee. That's why he had to be a backup at the Raiders. And now you want to make me think that he's gonna make this last forever, like a Keith Sweat song, and gonna make this work with Atlanta when the going gets tough. He gonna outduel some of these guys. He gonna make this work against Kyler Murray. He gonna make this work against Tom Brady. He gonna make this work against all these quarterbacks. I believe in Daniel Jones. I believe in those guys more than I believe in Mariota. No, come on now. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we really talking about right now?
You really just say he was the backup at the Raiders, like the starter at the Raiders is worth a damn.
That's another day. That's another thing for another day. I got you.
I'm just saying. He said Brady, like the GOAT. Of course, I'm not comparing him to the GOAT. Of course, I'm not. But what other quarterback he got to face?
All I'm saying is I'm trying to sweep that under the rug. I was trying to sweep that in there.
You backing these points up with that bullshit? I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
Atlanta.
You can have Atlanta. I'm gonna take the Packers. We gonna see who's gonna be right and who's gonna be wrong. This has been another rendition of the Don't Take Us Seriously podcast. Thank y'all so much. I'm DJ.
I'm O. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and come kick it with us. We back around, baby.
Peace.